In a very quiet village where the people are happy and the children play in safety, a disgusting man passes among them and everyone feels repulsed by him, warning their children not even to look at him. And this man is a corpse scavenger who steals everything from them and leaves nothing. So they all shout at him and ask what do you want, but he ignores them, showing that he is used to hearing that. He then goes to a shop and as soon as he enters everyone inside leaves, but he ignores what is happening and approaches the shop owner, opens a bag and empties its contents in front of him. The owner finds some wolf claws and looks at them with disgust as they are just junk to him, and tells him for a person like you 3 copper pieces are enough. So the corpse scavenger is shocked and tells him that is much less than their price. This is theft. So the shop owner gets angry at him and says a corpse scavenger like you has no right to say such words at all. The corpse scavenger then says to himself, in this world there are creatures that threaten human lives like monsters. And those who live their lives hunting those monsters are called adventurers. And these adventurers do that for the sake of searching for ranks and rare resources. And the more monsters they defeat, the higher their level rises. And each single level that an adventurer gains makes a huge difference in his strength. Or in other words, levels in this world are everything. And amid all of this I remained at level 1 for a very long time. And I cannot find any explanation for that. We then learn that this corpse scavenger is called Ka and he is a level 1 adventurer, and after Ka took the copper pieces he went to the bakery, and apparently the baker is the only one who treats him well, welcoming Ka and giving him extra bread as usual, and after taking money from him tells him, I think you should stop being an adventurer. Surely there is something else that suits you more. So Ka replies, telling him it is too late. Now my reputation is very bad and I am known as the corpse scavenger. Surely no one will agree to hire me. He says to himself, I dreamed of being an adventurer, and when I finally achieved my dream I discovered that someone put a curse on me, preventing me from gaining any experience points from killing any monster. So my level never rises. And until now I have not given up and still fight monsters every day again and again with the same result. No rise in level. And in the end all my money was gone. Before I realized it I found myself digging in the corpses of monsters that other adventurers killed. Because monsters at level 1 have no value, and of course I cannot kill monsters of higher level than that. So I became the corpse scavenger, and that was the only way I could stay alive. And then all the people began treating me very badly and my reputation worsened. And adventurers bullied me. All of them hate me so much. But in the end Ka finds that he cannot stop what he is doing, and one day Ka enters the lair of goblins of low level, wishing to find some corpses worth a lot of money, and suddenly he smells a very foul odor, looking to find the corpse of a dragon above level 200, thinking surely its price will be many times higher, and as he approaches he sees that most of its valuable parts were already taken, and what was left was only a very disgusting sack that no one dares to touch. So when Ka picks it up he feels something inside, and he cuts it with a knife and is shocked to find inside a shield. At that moment an evil black energy comes out from the shield and Ka is terrified, deciding to leave it as it is and walk away fearing death. Suddenly he hears a voice telling him wear it, so he becomes more afraid and runs, but he then finds a group of goblins surrounding him, so he panics, pulling his sword, but the goblins knock it from his hand. Then he hears the voice from the shield again telling him wear it. So he says to himself, dying from the shield is better than dying at the hands of level 1 goblins, and he goes to wear it, and suddenly he finds his whole body covered by an amazing black armor, and in his hand a sharp sword unlike any he ever held. He then approaches one of the goblins and cuts it with ease, and energy flows out of the goblin and into Ka, making him feel his body becoming strangely lighter. So he kills more goblins, and with each one his body becomes lighter and faster, and he feels he got used to it and pounces on the rest of the goblins, finishing them all. Afterwards he hears a voice saying level absorbed and owner level raised 5 times, so Ka is shocked because he was not supposed to rise in level at all, and in front of him appears a screen saying the owner of the abyss armor can use the skill of level absorption. So Ka becomes very happy and feels the world looks different and that there is still hope. And the idea comes to him to kill all the goblins in that lair so he can become even stronger, and he sees that the armor will not hurt him as he thought, so he uses it more. Before he can move, suddenly he notices a shadow beneath him, and he feels a terrifying presence and says there are supposed to be only weak goblins here. Looking back to find a legendary goblin holding an axe with an army of smaller goblins, and he notices the smaller goblins gather around the dragon corpse, so he deduces that the smell of the corpse is what drew them. And he hears a voice telling him enemy leader at level 35 and not advised to fight him. So he says to himself, I know, but there is no way to escape. Quickly the legendary goblin attacks him, so he dodges and barely blocks its strikes. One strike from the legendary goblin sends him flying, crashing into the wall with force. Then he feels despair again, thinking he will die before raising his strength, and Ka rises with difficulty, fleeing from the legendary goblin, trying to find an exit from that lair when one goblin attacks him. So Ka grabs it, smashing it into the wall, breaking its head. absorbing its level and reaching 7, then the idea comes to him to keep defeating the small goblins until he levels up enough to defeat the legendary goblin instead of running away, and indeed he starts killing them one after another. Until he reaches level 15 and begins walking in the lair. On his way he finds a side cave, entering suddenly to find a huge treasure and gold shining, deducing that this is the money goblins take from humans. And he notices a strange chest, so he opens it and finds health potions, which the bag of the armor absorbs automatically, and he thinks of taking the gold but feels it will hinder his movement and fighting. Before he leaves suddenly he hears someone, so he quickly runs behind the crates and finds a girl tied up crying, so he frees her and she tells him I am Mealy from the village of Rakel, thanking him for saving her and asking his name, and when he tells her his name she is surprised and Ka continues yes I am the corpse scavenger. So she is confused because she heard many rumors about him saying he is a bad person. And she tells him but you are not like those rumors at all. You are a kind person and saved me. So Ka is surprised because it is the first time anyone said good words about him, and then he tells her come on I will return you to your village. On their way Ka feels something approaching them, so he tells Mealy to hide and then looks ahead to see a large group of goblins again. So he says do they never end and rushes at them quickly cutting them with terrifying eyes, and with each goblin he kills he feels his body lighter and stronger, enjoying it greatly until he reaches level 35, the same level as the legendary goblin. So Mealy asks him can I go out and he replies telling her not yet stay where you are for now, then he looks ahead and says to the legendary goblin I expected you to appear after I killed all your kin. So the legendary goblin looks at him with anger. He screams very loudly, so Ka tells him I am no longer the weak coward who will stand watching and let anyone kill him. So the goblin raises his axe and before he can bring it down Ka moves quickly and wounds him. Then Ka looks around and finds still 10 small goblins and the legendary goblin still alive. So he says I cannot waste my time dealing with these small goblins, and calls Mealy telling her give me a knife. So she throws him a belt with some knives, and he grabs them one by one, throwing them quickly at the small goblins. So Ka rises to level 45, then the legendary goblin strikes him with the axe so Ka raises his sword with his back turned and blocks it, but he feels a strange difficulty, asking himself how am I with higher level and yet he is pushing me. Then he hears a warning voice saying the monster has a bracelet that increases his strength. So Ka remembers that there are items that enhance power as much as possible but never expected they could work on monsters, so his goal now is to break the bracelet first, and Ka jumps with skill dodging the goblin strike, entering with him in combat and exchanging blows, until he sees the knives he threw earlier at the small goblins, so he takes them again and throws one at him but he blocks it. So Ka keeps throwing knives until he finds an opening and throws one that hits the bracelet and breaks it. So Ka looks at him with a terrifying stare, telling him now it is my turn to scare you, and he jumps quickly landing on his axe with all his power, so the goblin flies crashing into the wall and he asks him mockingly how does it feel to be weak, then approaches him and knocks the axe out of his hand, so the goblin tries to punch him with all his power but Ka is faster cutting him down and he falls dead. Then Ka's level increases reaching 80. He calls Mealy to come out and when she sees the goblins he defeated she is greatly amazed telling him you became unbeatable. Then Ka takes a knife cutting a fong from the legendary goblin because it is something rare, and Mealy takes it from him to carry it in the bag and he apologizes to her that he will take all the materials from the goblins for himself but she replies telling him do not worry you saved my life. Then she asks him what are we supposed to do now, so Ka thinks of returning her to her village but fears goblins might still be in the lair and kidnap someone else. So he asks her can you stay here with me for a while longer and she replies with surprise yes sure but what will you do, so he tells her I want to make sure no one gets kidnapped. After he finishes all the goblins in the lair and his level becomes 100, the two of them return to the village and Ka finally feels he can defeat the other monsters around the village like the rest of the adventurers, so Mealy tells him I have never heard before of an adventurer with 3-digit level. You now are no longer like the rest of the adventurers. You became one of the best adventurers in this village. So he thinks of how much he had been suffering just to stay alive, to the point he never even looked at the levels of the adventurers around him and discovered that he did not know his level had become higher than theirs. Mealy continues telling him with this level absorption you surely will be much stronger, and suddenly the adventurers who used to bully Ka come in calling him corpse scavenger again, so Ka looks at their leader Garage with anger, and Garage mocks Ka's armor, telling him you cannot raise your level, so you resort to strong equipment, and they all laugh at him. Garage continues wanting to discourage him, telling him even if you wear that armor it will not make any difference. You will stay level 1 as you are. Then in a moment Ka pulls a knife, placing it on his neck, telling him I am exhausted now. Can you shut up? So Garage kicks him back, drawing his sword and telling him just a corpse scavenger should not speak big words like that. Suddenly Ka knocks Garage's sword from his hand, dropping it to the ground. So Garage is shocked how that happened, although his level is 20. Then Ka looks at Garage's followers with a frightening gaze, asking them who is next, so they tremble and freeze in their place. Then he looks at Garage, telling him level 20 huh? That is 1/5 of my level. So Garage opens the screen and looks at Ka's level, shocked to find it is 100. Garage trembles, saying impossible. If that is real it means you became just a monster. So Ka replies with sarcasm, so after being a corpse scavenger I became a monster. While I only wanted to be a normal adventurer. Then he looks ahead, surprised that Garage and his followers fled quickly. Mealy then approaches Ka, gently telling him you are no longer like before. Trust yourself more. So Ka smiles at her words and they continue their way, entering again the shop of monster materials, and when the owner sees him he mocks him, telling him no matter how good you make yourself look if the resources you bring are not good. But before he can finish talking he finds Ka placing in front of him the rare fong of the legendary goblin. So the owner is shocked, thinking it is fake, asking him where did you get this? So Ka replies I defeated it, but the owner does not believe him. So Ka calls Mealy and she empties the bag with other more expensive materials. So the owner is shocked and Ka asks him will you buy them or not? I can sell them elsewhere. So the owner becomes nervous, telling him fine I will buy them. This is a chance I do not find every day. He then goes to the baker, who is shocked that Ka has so much money, and tells him I finally became able to defeat a strong monster by myself. I am happy I did not give up. So the baker hugs him like his son, very happy for him. Suddenly Ka hears screaming and monsters, so he tells Mealy stay where you are and runs quickly towards the sound. He arrives finding wolves about to kill people, so he saves a woman from the claws of one wolf, cutting it down. And looking ahead he finds their number very large, so he is surprised because they are supposed to be killed before reaching the village. Then he hears the people saying Garage and the others were supposed to be on a mission to kill them, so Ka understands that they ran away like cowards. One wolf attacks him, so he jumps, thinking they are level 8 and he can defeat them easily no matter their number. But the problem is that many people are around and he must protect them. He sees a person about to die from the wolves, so he runs quickly to him and pushes him away. So the man is surprised and asks him are you the corpse scavenger? So Ka replies call me whatever you want. I now have more important things to do. And he says to himself I am the corpse scavenger everyone hates. But that is not a reason for me to abandon them. So they all become amazed that he is killing the wolves and protecting them. And his level rises until 172, so he is surprised it increased only 72 and calculates how much it should have risen, then discovers that one wolf is hiding. And the surprise is that it is on top of one building staring at a small girl, and the wolf jumps at her, but Ka is far from her, so he thinks what should I do, afraid the girl will die without him saving her. Then he throws his sword at the wolf, hitting it. So the girl thanks him for saving her and says goodbye. But the strange thing is that all the villagers gather around him, telling him corpse scavenger, we need to talk. Ka thinks they are upset at the idea that a corpse scavenger saved their lives, so he turns his back to them, telling them I am leaving. Surely no one wants to see the face of a corpse scavenger, but they tell him no, wait, and thank him, telling him you have from us all respect for saving us. So Ka is surprised, and the mother of the child he saved also thanks him. So Ka becomes very nervous and replies telling them I just wanted to save everyone, and tells them surely my past as a corpse scavenger will not disappear. But now I have the strength to protect everyone, so I will achieve my dream and be an adventurer protecting people. Keep your eyes on me and watch me. On the next day Ka walks in the village, meeting Mealy, who is surprised he is not wearing his armor and asks him, so he replies telling her I discovered I can take it off and wear it in a moment. So she is amazed and claps for him, and he tells her I am happy with this armor because it made me a real adventurer as I always wished. Then he remembers the dragon he found in the goblin lair and asks himself why was there a dragon corpse there in the first place. On the other side Garage and his followers are chasing a huge ogre wanting to kill it after abandoning their original mission, which was killing the wolves approaching the village, but greed made them leave the ordinary wolves and chase this ogre because it is rare and would earn them more money if they sold its materials, so they chase it until the goblin lair where Ka is. When they enter they smell a very foul odor without understanding its reason, so Garage approaches and is shocked seeing the ogre eating the dragon corpse, and suddenly the ogre transforms into something very strange. At the same time Ka is walking in the forest feeling a strange aura in the air, sensing it comes from the goblin lair, so when he enters he feels the smell much worse than before, approaching further and is shocked seeing the huge ogre after it transformed growing wings like a dragon, holding the corpse of one of Garish's followers. Ka says to himself, this is unlike anything I have ever faced in my life, but my level is 180 now, I should be able to defeat it easily. So he draws his sword intending to attack, but before he can continue he hears a warning voice that there is a great difference in level between him and the ogre, and in that moment the ogre punches him with great force in the stomach, so Ka falls to the ground dropping his sword. Then a screen appears before him written awakened ogre level 200, so he is shocked that there are monsters above his level at all. He then hears another warning saying there is a large amount of energy in the head of that ogre, and the armor system tells him escape immediately, so Ka tries to move but cannot due to the pressure of the ogre's energy. A countdown starts for the ogre's attack on him and Ka still cannot move, so he leans on his sword pressing himself to stand, but before he can the rays of the monster's energy fall upon him blasting him away. Ka bleeds thinking this is truly his end, but strangely the monster leaves him and walks away as if not caring for him from the start. So the armor mocks Ka telling him apparently the monster belittled you. So Ka becomes angry, then hears the armor telling him use the healing potions. Because there are serious wounds, so Ka remembers he actually has those potions and drinks them regaining his health. After that Ka says to himself, I am sure that ogre went to the village, and before he exits the cave he hears a voice calling him corpse scavenger. So when he looks back he finds Garish about to die, asking him angrily to give him a healing potion, not caring that he will die and telling Ka with a very bad tone, a person like you does not deserve the potions at all. I want to recover to run away, and surely it is going to the village now, so I will use it as bait and escape. So Ka asks the abyss armor if the potions could heal Garish. The armor replies impossible, because his body is full of fatal wounds and no matter how many potions he takes he will die in minutes. So Ka asks again, can I use the level absorption on humans? The armor replies yes. So Ka tells Garish, you now have no hope to live. So if there was something I could do to free you from this pain, but Garish cuts him off telling him kill me corpse scavenger. So Ka replies, I never liked you at all. But it is unfortunate to say goodbye to you like this. And he absorbs Garish's level which is 20, making Ka's level reach 200 like the ogre. At the same time the ogre reaches the edge of the village looking at it from afar. Suddenly Ka appears telling him I found you and wounds his hand, so the monster falls to his knee. Then Ka continues quickly trying to kill it, but the monster protects its head with his hand, so Ka tells him I will give you important advice. You must kill the weak first, because if you do not they will return much stronger. The ogre spreads his wing and Ka feels it is very solid, then the ogre starts charging his energy again to release the rays, but this time Ka does not give him a chance to do that and attacks right away. Suddenly he discovers it was a trick and the ogre kicks him with all its strength. So Ka flies in the air and at that moment the ogre lifts a tree hitting him like a tennis ball. So Ka crashes into several trees breaking them and finally crashes into the wall breaking it. Ka becomes upset that the difference between their levels disappeared, but the problem is they are still equal. Then he takes out a potion drinking it to ease the pain he feels, and Ka rises again with an evil look in his eyes rushing at the monster quickly. So the armor warns Ka of a large amount of energy coming towards him that he must avoid, and indeed the monster releases its ray at him. Ka barely dodges it with great difficulty, and the ogre tries to protect his face with his wings, so Ka strikes them with his sword cutting them. The monster screams in pain and becomes enraged. Suddenly the ogre looks at the village smiling an evil smile, jumping on a rock preparing to leap directly to the village, so Ka runs after him quickly trying to catch him before he destroys the village. But the monster lands in the middle of the village among the people, screaming very loudly, and starts destroying the village breaking everything. Panic spreads in the village and all the people are terrified running in chaos. The monster releases its rays at the buildings. Ka arrives to the monster late trying to cut him, but the strike misses and they fall from the top of the building. Ka jumps again and the monster jumps after him. Ka tries to cut him but the monster blocks his sword with his solid hand, and Ka refuses to surrender dodging the rays coming at him afterwards. But suddenly he realizes he is in the air in a dangerous position. The ogre descends on him with a powerful fist, then leaves him and goes back to destroying the village again. Still Ka rises telling himself I will never give up. I am the only adventurer who can face him. And the monster stands in front of the baker who loves Ka, and the baker stands before him with full courage never afraid at all. So the monster looks at him while he looks back. Then the monster screams in his face but still the baker remains firm with full confidence, saying this is a small village so even if I run he will catch me. So all I must do is wait for the hero to come. And at that moment Ka indeed appears telling him you are right. But do you really see someone like me a hero? So the baker replies with full confidence yes of course. Are you not here to save me? So Ka replies yes, though I do not know if I can win or not. Though me and the monster are at the same level, Then the baker goes to one of the boxes he has, telling him do not be so hopeless, and throws him a piece of bread telling him compared to the days before when you were not strong. This situation is nothing at all, so Ka thanks him, regaining his courage once again. He jumps at the monster with incredible speed and the monster blocks the strike. So he tries again quickly, but suddenly the monster grabs the sword and throws Ka away. Ka lands on his feet with skill and looks behind him, finding a small boy telling him run from here quickly, but the boy replies, I am so scared that I cannot move. Suddenly the monster jumps in front of the boy, preparing to punch him with all its strength. So Ka jumps in front of him, blocking the punch with difficulty. He tells the boy, run please, I cannot continue fighting like this and I cannot protect you. So the boy gathers courage and runs. Then Ka looks at the monster, finding it charging its rays, and the armor warns him to escape. But Ka is very exhausted and replies to the armor telling it, this is my mistake. I think I cannot escape this time. So the monster releases at him and the force of the energy blows Ka away, breaking buildings until he crashes into a wall, saying to himself, this monster is so strong. And although our levels are equal, there is a huge difference in abilities. The armor warns him of the wounds on his body. So Ka puts his hand on the potion storage but finds it empty. Then looks ahead, seeing it fallen on the ground from the strike's impact, but Ka cannot move from his place. Suddenly he finds himself in a black space, asking himself, is this all I can reach? Am I really unable to protect the village? Then he answers himself saying, no, as long as I can recover I can continue. Suddenly he finds himself awake again because a girl took the potion from the ground and gave it to him. So he asks her, who are you? And she replies telling him, I am Lily, just a village girl who wants to save the village she was born and lived in. They hear the sound of the monster roaring and destroying the town from their place. Ka tries to stand to return fighting the monster again. Lily tells him, you know, I was watching you fighting to protect the village. The fact that you still care about the village at all made me very happy. Strangely she then tells him, now let us escape, but he replies, I cannot escape. I am the only person in this village who can defeat the monster. So she tells him there is another reason to run, which is if you are defeated I am sure no one else can save the village afterwards. So until your wounds heal I think you must avoid fighting. Ka says to himself, she is right. My body is full of wounds, so I need time before I can fight with all my strength again. Suddenly the monster interrupts them, jumping in front of them. Lily tells him quickly, let us go. So he finds no other solution and runs with her. While they are running he asks her, how did you know my name? She replies telling him, you are famous in this village. Did you forget or what? So he asks her, you mean as the corpse scavenger? She replies to him, you are a hero for me. I was there when the wolves attacked the village and that is why I trust you. Ka is surprised by her words and promises her he will protect the village no matter what. They hear a scream, so they run towards it, finding a man taking advantage of what is happening in the village, kidnapping women to sell them as slaves. Ka becomes very upset looking at him. Suddenly a huge man grabs Lily, placing a knife on her neck. He threatens Ka that he will kill her if he does not obey his orders, telling him walk ahead, so Ka listens in front. When the caravan leader who kidnaps the women sees him he tells the huge man, did I not tell you we do not want men? Then when he sees Lily he tells her, you will be sold for a lot of money. So Ka angrily asks him, how can you do this in a time like this? Do you have no conscience? The leader replies with mockery, conscience? Never. We came here to steal the village. You are lucky it was not us who killed the villagers. Ka becomes furious and the leader tells him, say what you want. No matter how strong an adventurer you are, you cannot do anything while she is in our hands. So Ka watches him with anger, waiting for a chance to save her. Suddenly Mealy appears with a knife in her hand, rushing at the huge man holding Lily. The leader warns quickly and the huge man dodges her, so she falls to the ground. He tells her, know your size, but Mealy laughs mockingly because Ka now found the chance. He punches with all his strength, sending him flying, and catches Lily before she falls. The gang leader orders them to kill him before he kills them. Ka asks him, are you sure? I will not back down. The leader mocks him, thinking he is afraid. Then all the soldiers charge at him at the same time. Ka tells them the same words the huge man told Mealy, know your size. Quickly he kills them all, absorbing their levels. So the leader is terrified of his speed and strength. Ka tells him, your mistake was thinking me a normal adventurer. I am at level 200. So the leader becomes furious, attacking him with his sword. But Ka cuts him down and his level rises to 250. Then a notification appears to Ka that he reached the maximum level any human can reach. So Ka is surprised that there is a certain level for humans at all. Surely he never knew this because no adventurer had passed level 100. Then Lily thanks him for saving her. He replies telling her, it was natural to save you after you saved me. If you had not given me the potion the monster would have killed me. She tells him, no matter the reason, you are my hero. Ka says, I am still not a complete hero at all. She replies angrily, you are wrong. Because of you all these people here are alive. You must be proud of yourself a little. I will not allow you to blame yourself for anything. Ka looks at her in total amazement, not believing he hears such words from someone. then he thanks her from his whole heart. Mealy enters telling them I cleared the whole place from people and freed the ones who were kidnapped. Ka tells her well done. She replies I am happy that I can help you instead of only standing watching you fight like every time. And she tells him I will fight with you until the end, but he replies no thanks, I am fine. I want you both to handle evacuating the place completely. The monster appears again smashing the town, so Ka prepares with a terrifying aura around him. Suddenly the monster jumps landing in front of them. Ka tells him perfect timing, and tells Mealy and Lily to hide now while he finishes the matter, then apologizes to the monster for running from him last time. The monster screams with his loudest voice. Ka walks towards him slowly telling him at first I did not even know how to hold the sword. But later I learned and relied on it to be able to live. In the end I found myself using it to protect the people around me. But now I will use it to fulfill the wishes of others. And he tells him you must be proud to be the first monster to fight me after I reached the maximum human level. So the monster charges at him angrily. Ka strikes him a small blow pushing him 2 steps back, telling him that attack will not work on me again. Ka jumps at him with his fist smashing the ground. The monster rises charging his energy. Ka hears the armor telling him energy detected far greater than ever before. Ka tells it no problem, I will handle it, and he tells the monster surrender. In this world levels are everything, so the monster releases a massive amount of energy towards Ka, and with ease Ka cuts it with his sword, telling him no matter how you try you will never defeat me. The monster becomes very furious and screams in his face, so Ka tells him with sarcasm are you afraid or what? You used your greatest power to kill the villagers, but now you will die by a power greater than your greatest power. Then Ka rushes at him like lightning so the monster tries to punch him but Ka is faster striking his head hard smashing his face into the ground. The monster releases his ray at him, so Ka tells him mockingly you are still doing that. The monster increases the energy more and more hoping it will finish him, but is shocked to see Ka standing in place without a single scratch. The monster screams and decides to attack with physical strikes while releasing rays at the same time. So Ka jumps in the sky and descends on him with his sword cutting off his hand completely. The monster screams in pain. Ka looks at him with full malice telling him kneel, but the monster refuses and releases his energy at him again. So Ka jumps driving the sword into his eye. The armor says level of the monster absorbed meaning this time it is dead, but suddenly the armor says level absorption failed because the owner already reached the maximum and tells him new features of the abyss armor unlocked. The owner can now use level conversion. If you want levels higher than this use it. On the next day after defeating the ogre the villagers begin rebuilding the village and repairing what was broken. One villager stumbles so Ka appears behind him supporting him. The man thanks him telling him thank you hero of the village. From here Ka's bad reputation in the village and the idea of corpse scavenger changed. Afterwards Ka goes to stand alone asking the armor what is this level conversion you mentioned yesterday. The armor replies by using level conversion you can gain new strong skills in exchange for your level. Ka is drawn to the phrase strong skills, remembering that these are valuable abilities with different effects, like increasing movement speed, fire resistance, and many others that help adventurers greatly. Usually adventurers gain these skills at a very slow rate after collecting enough experience to raise level, so he says to himself because I could not gain experience I gave up the idea of acquiring skills. Ka begins thinking about the matter of paying levels in exchange for skills, then a screen of recommendation appears before him with a skill called breaking the level ceiling. This will allow him afterwards to pass level 250 freely and without end, but the cost of this skill is 240 levels meaning he will have only 10 left in the end, but Ka agrees because it will be very necessary in the future. The armor tells him choose a phrase to activate the skill then say the name of the skill, so Ka says, request skill, breaking the level ceiling. Suddenly Ka feels severe pain and all the experience and energy he gained flow out of him. The villagers notice a strange light coming from outside the village. The armor tells Ka payment received and now you have the skill. Afterwards Ka feels a completely new sensation as if he is no longer human. The armor tells him you became an existence higher than humans. Ka feels pride because he did not give up when he was just a corpse scavenger. On the other side a man is walking in the village very angry with a huge sword in his hand, saying I thought the matter would take time and I was just late and came to see it. But it turned out that indeed someone killed it. How is there a person with enough strength to kill such a monster in the village? At the same time the armor tells Ka with breaking the maximum level ceiling the 200 levels of the ogre you could not absorb before will now be added. So Ka is shocked because he thought he would start leveling from the beginning again. His current level becomes 210. He thinks of checking other strong skills to add but with lower cost. And if he gathers them he will become the first and only strongest adventurer in the world. He is interrupted from his thinking by Lily entering, telling him yesterday after you killed the monster the village was in chaos and I could not find you at all. He apologizes, telling her I went to help the villagers put out the fires. Then Mealy enters, telling him if you knew how worried she was about you yesterday. And me too, of course. He tells them I am happy you are both fine. Lily replies, all this is thanks to you. Thank you. After a few days a large group of adventurers enter the village. Their leader named Ein is surprised that the village looks abandoned. He asks one of his followers, did we come at the wrong time or what? He replies, I do not think so, maybe they were attacked by another monster recently. Because if the fire dragon had come the whole village would have disappeared completely. The leader replies, yes. In any case I think we must go in further and know what happened. Afterwards we must go stop the fire dragon before it causes more damage. Then they all move behind the leader. At the same time Ka is in the forest throwing knives at some weak monsters because he returned to level 1 that in exchange for 2 new skills, deadly poison skill and increased throwing accuracy skill. He chose these two so he could level up quickly without much effort. He hunts monsters aiming to return to level 200 within hours. But the problem is that the poison takes long to kill the monster, so he leaves it poison and goes to poison another until the first dies. When his level reaches 41 he exchanges them for the skill faster poison effect, so he returns to level 1 again, but he feels tired and decides to return to the village to rest a little then continue. He finds the group of adventurers and their leader Ein. He asks them, is something happening here? Ein replies asking him, are you an adventurer too? If so help us in our mission. But when he opens to see Ka's level and finds it 1 he is surprised, telling him you look like a new adventurer. Ka replies, no, I have been an adventurer for years. Ein is more surprised and all around Ka mock him, but Ka is used to such reactions so he feels nothing. Then one of Ein's followers puts his hand on Ka's shoulder telling him you must be joking. Ka looks at him seriously telling him no. He is surprised and says, wait, I remembered. I heard about an adventurer in this village at level 1 weaker than the weakest person, and I think his name was Corpse Scavenger. Ka replies angrily, suppose that is me. What is the problem? The follower is surprised and Ka ignores him asking Ein what happened here. Ein replies, we are here on a mission from the guild because recently we received reports of unusual monsters in this village. Like the black dragon of level 150. So the matter will need more than 1 adventurer to deal with it. And that is why we gathered a team and came here. Do not worry, we will surely defeat it. He introduces himself to Ka. Ka thinks if the dragon is level 150 it will be easy to deal with alone, but he remembers the black dragon that was in the goblin lair and wonders if that is what they mean. Suddenly one of Ein's followers enters telling him, hurry leader. Some adventurers found the dragon. At the same time some adventurers are standing at the goblin lair, in front of them a huge furious dragon. On the other side the adventurer tells Ein the scouting team brought the fire dragon to the arena now. So Ein becomes tense telling them let us go to our target. Ka says to himself the adventurers in this squad are between level 80 and 120. But even if they are an elite group against a dragon of level 150 there will surely be many losses. And I will not allow that to happen. So he tells Ein take me with you, and thinks that the monsters he poisoned are about to die so his level will rise to 200 by the time they reach the arena with the dragon. But surely Ein completely refuses so as not to expose him to danger. Before he explains to Ein he feels the gazes of those around him and hears them mocking him and his level. Then the man who called him Corpse Scavenger approaches him telling him I will speak on behalf of our leader. You are weak. Stay away from this matter. And they leave him and walk away. Ka stands thinking that if he does nothing there will be losses, but at his current level he truly cannot do anything and no one will take him seriously. So he decides to wait until his level rises then go after them. At sunset Ein is standing before the dragon terrified, saying I never expected it to be this strong. This is not a normal fire dragon. This is a catastrophe level dragon. The fire dragon ruler of level 300 the fire destroyer, so he orders his soldiers to retreat because it is impossible to deal with it by themselves. Suddenly the dragon strikes him with its tail quickly. Ka arrives late and finds it is truly the dragon that was in the goblin lair. Shocked it recovered from its previous state, but he sees there is no time to think and rushes quickly to save the other adventurers, asking the abyss armor how much time is left until the levels are received. It replies about 30 seconds, and all the adventurers are on the ground before the dragon about to release a massive fireball. Ka keeps running hoping that by the time he arrives the levels will have come. Luckily the levels arrive early and his level becomes 201. He requests the skill flame nullification and stands absorbing the fire with his hand. Ein is shocked, asking him how. The adventurer who mocked him asks how is the corpse scavenger standing fine while all of us fell from that strike. Ka replies, telling them that is because I am much stronger than you. But my power cannot protect all of you, so it is not that great. Sorry. Then the adventurer falls on his face dying. Ka becomes furious, saying despite all this power lives are still dying before my eyes. He looks at the dragon, telling it for the souls of the adventurers who died I will defeat you here and now. The dragon becomes furious, releasing fire at him again. Ka holds it in his hand, nullifying it with ease. Ein is shocked again, asking him who exactly are you. But Ka ignores him, focusing on the dragon blocking all the flames it releases, thinking about his level that decreased to 21 because of requesting the flame nullification skill, wondering if there is any way to increase his level again. Suddenly the dragon strikes him with its hand. This time Ka quickly jumps, dodging the strike because he cannot block it with his weak level. Suddenly he sees the dragon's tail coming down on him and it is too late to move, but at that moment someone cuts the dragon's head with one strike easily. Ka is shocked, looking to see a man standing on the dragon's corpse with a huge sword in his hand, asking him who are you. He replies, telling him I am Balder, and only a very few adventurers are in my strength. I am a catastrophe class adventurer, with a confident proud smile on his face. Ein rises, saying I have never seen someone from that class before. Their strength is told only in stories and their heroic deeds and legends. Ka opens the screen to see his level and finds it 300. Meaning he passed the limits of humanity. The armor tells him the target before you is a person born with the skill breaking the level ceiling. Ka asks him, did you come here to save us? Balder replies, no, do not misunderstand. Telling him angrily, I came for you. You the owner of the black armor who ruined my plans. Ka is surprised, asking him, what do you mean by your plans? Balder replies, the villagers told me with great pride about you, saying there was an adventurer in black armor who defeated the one-eyed ogre. I was wondering who exactly that adventurer was, but it turned out you are just trash. Suddenly the dragon's head is still alive, groaning. Balder stabs it again, telling it shut up. I am talking now, and tells Ka as long as the dragon's core in its chest remains intact it will keep regenerating. Ka is shocked and Balder continues, I already killed it before in a cave. His words fall on Ka like a thunderbolt. Balder continues, I intentionally did not break its core and left it to die there. Ka asks him, surprised, why did you do that? He replies, telling him because when another monster eats that dragon's flesh its body changes and its level becomes higher. And this fire destroyer is so strong it can burn an entire village in a moment, so I wanted something weaker than it to attack the village and not destroy it quickly, so that I arrived to save them at the last moment and be a hero in their eyes. Afterwards I would defeat the fire destroyer again and gain fame and power. Ein is shocked by his way of thinking. Balder continues to Ka, but you ruined all of that. Ka asks him with indignation, fame? You put the villagers in danger for something so trivial. Balder replies mockingly, of course you fool. What else matters to adventurers like me other than fame and gold? These are the goals of the powerful. Ka replies angrily, that is nonsense. Do you have any idea how many villagers were hurt in this attack? Or how many adventurers died because of your greed? Ka asks the abyss armor to lend him its power, telling it I will defeat this catastrophe class adventurer who sees himself above everyone. Balder laughs mockingly, asking him, you want to kill me? His face changes to anger, telling him stop saying such nonsense. An aura of very strong energy bursts from Balder, affecting Ein but not affecting Ka. Ka thinks Balder is level 300 and if I fight him directly it will be a one-sided battle with no chance because my level is 21. He looks at the dragon's core, saying to himself it is about to collapse. If I destroy it and take the power of the fire destroyer I will have a chance to win. He asks the abyss armor, is there a way to let me destroy the dragon core from afar? But before the armor replies, Balder jumps at him and Ka tries to dodge, but his energy blasts both him and Ein as he was standing beside him. Balder is annoyed that he missed the target and approaches Ka slowly. At that moment the armor replies to Ka's question, telling him to destroy the dragon core from afar. I advise you to obtain the precise explosion weapon, but Ka is surprised that the skill makes his weapon explode with very weak power and costs 20 levels, so he asks, what am I supposed to do with that? Even if my sword explodes it will not destroy the core from afar. The armor replies, telling him I do not advise you to blow up your sword. Ka asks nervously, then what should I do? The armor tells him he has a poison knife. Ka understands what it wants him to do and rises. Balder is furious that he could rise after that strike. Ka requests the skill and from his armor 3 poison knives appear. He throws them and Balder mocks him because they do not hit him. Ka tells him, you were never my target. Balder is shocked, looking behind, finding the dragon core destroyed and the fire destroyer dead. The dragon's level flows out as yellow light. Balder looks at it confused, not understanding what is happening. Ka absorbs the level and rushes at him quickly. Balder is shocked that Ka's power increased excessively although his level was only 21. Ka tells him, I am now at level 301. Balder tells him, I understand now how you defeated the huge ogre. Suddenly he presses with all his strength, lifting Ka from the ground. Right after he strikes him, sending him flying far. then tells him angrily, one level difference between us will not defeat the difference in experience. Quickly he reaches before him, jumping to descend on him, but Ka disappears and appears behind him quickly, striking him with the sword, but Balder's reaction precedes, blocking the strong strike so the pressure breaks the ground. Ka becomes more furious than before, attacking him again with greater force. Balder releases his energy, covering him with a very strong terrifying aura, telling him, you have great courage, Black Armor Bearer, but I will make you shut up completely. He activates a skill called Tyrant Ruler. His body is surrounded by strong armor and his gaze becomes terrifying like a monster, telling him this is the true power of a catastrophe class adventurer. He swings his sword in the air, releasing energy, and Ka feels if he tries to block it he will die, saying to himself, so he turned out to be a tyrant ruler for real. He says to himself, if that is the case, then I suppose I am forced to use the skill I found when I looked in the skills list, and it is a skill that can only be used once. He steps back to request the skill, but suddenly Ein jumps with his shield, blocking Balder's sword strike. The strike sends him flying, landing on the ground hard. He calls to Ka, telling him, if I had taken you with me and the fire dragon was defeated from the start, my friends would not have died. Tears fall from his eyes as he begs Ka to avenge them. Ka replies to him, do not worry, I will avenge, and he requests the skill Curse of the Black Armor. Balder becomes angry from his whisper, releasing another amount of energy at him. The armor warns Ka that he cannot use this skill more than once. Ka tells him, I know. Do it. The armor tells him one level will be deducted and an additional value you will decide. Ka blocks Balder's strike, telling the armor make the additional cost 299 and with the fixed cost it will be all 300. The armor confirms and all the level energy exits his body, returning him to level 1. Balder asks him, what did you do, idiot, mocking him when he sees his level now. Then he rushes at him quickly to finish him, but suddenly Ka tells the Black Armor Balder. The Curse of the Black Armor activates and from Ka black energy emerges, gripping Balder tightly. Balder feels his energy being drained, becoming terrified. Ka explains to him, this skill will draw from you the level equal to the additional cost I paid, which is 299, meaning in the end Balder will be at level 1 same as him. Balder is shocked, begging him to let him go. Ka mocks him, telling him is leaving the same as entering, or what? Balder falls to the ground at level 1. He opens the status screen to check and is shocked, saying, I the great person became at this pathetic level. But that does not mean you will defeat me. I am a catastrophe class adventurer. Ka wounds him in the chest with the sword, making him bleed heavily, telling him in Reiko village not long ago there was a man called Corpse Scavenger, and that man could not gain experience or raise his level. Balder becomes furious, telling him shut up, and falls to the ground with his sword with all his strength, but his strikes no longer have the effect like before. Ka continues, and the Corpse Scavenger was at level 1 all his life. And you unfortunately met the wrong person, because I am the Corpse Scavenger and the one who knows best how to fight at level 1. Ka cuts his arm with a final strike. Balder becomes very furious, telling him I have not lost yet, but Ka replies, telling him enough, the fight is over. Balder jumps at him, knocking the sword from his hand. With a final finishing strike he ends the battle. Ein thanks Ka for defeating Balder. Ka replies, there is no need for thanks, I also would not forgive him and would have killed him anyway, but the matter is not over at all. Indeed, Balder is still alive, saying, you took from me my right arm, the arm of a catastrophe class adventurer. And I do not like to say this, but it is a matter of time until the other catastrophe class adventurers know if I disappear suddenly, and they will come searching for the reason, and they are all very strong people and will avenge me. Ka replies with full confidence and anger, if catastrophe class adventurers want to face me, then I am ready. Balder laughs mockingly, telling him, I hope you do not lose that confidence when you see them. The bracelet on his hand glows. Ein tells Ka that is an instant transfer tool. He is trying to escape. Ka rushes at him quickly, but Balder tells him, next time if I am not dead, I will make sure to kill you myself, then transfers before Ka reaches him. Ein asks Ka in fear, what will we do? If he appears again it will be a problem. Ka smiles, reassuring him that even if he comes back he will not be able to face him. Then Ka looks at the people who died, becoming very upset. Ein tells him, I will report to the guild. Ka apologizes, telling him, I have a request. Then they walk together to the village and Ka tells Ein, I decided to leave the village. Ein tells him, honestly I was surprised what someone strong like you could request from me. But when I found you wanted to go to another city I did not understand the idea. Ka replies, telling him, I want to continue adventuring in this village. But after what happened my presence here is dangerous for the village if catastrophe class adventurers start chasing me. Indeed, Ein understands his request, agreeing to take him with him. Then Ein tells him, I sent a message with the communication magic stone to the guild, informing them of what happened so they come to handle the remaining traces of the catastrophe. So even after you leave the other adventurers will protect the village and it will be safe. Ka thanks him. Meanwhile Mali is standing watching him from afar, hearing that he is leaving. Ka goes to the bread seller's shop to bid him farewell before leaving, but is surprised it is closed. Ein asks him shall we leave another day. Ka smiles replying no, let us leave now. It will be hard for me to say farewell if I meet them anyway. He walks saying to himself, it is not just the bread seller. I did not say goodbye to Lily and Millie either. But I do not want anyone hurt because they know me. As soon as his foot crosses the village gate he hears a voice calling him. He looks to find the bread seller with a bag. Ka looks at him with sorrow. The seller tells him, do not look at me like that. You are leaving, right? I heard by chance you were leaving, so I made you some bread to take with you. Ka apologizes to him that he was going to leave without telling him. The seller tells him, smile. I am sure you have a good reason to leave. And I have been watching you for a long time, hero, so at least let me see your smile before you leave. Ka smiles for him, telling him farewell. Ka walks eating the bread on the road very happy. They continue their path to Ein's city where his guild is. On the other side Millie reaches Lily telling her about Ka, but after it is too late. At the same time Ka and Ein see some weak goblin stopping a cart stealing what is in it. Ka gives the bread bag to Ein, draws his sword telling him this is a chance to raise my level before I go to the new city, then rushes at the goblins finishing them. When they arrive at the city Ka is amazed by the number of people in it and the atmosphere completely different from the village. Ein tells him this is the biggest city in the region. It is the capital of the country. Afterwards they go to the Central Administration Council for Adventurers. There are many guilds there. Ein tells Ka there are many talented adventurers inside, so you will not attract attention at all if you stay in the low level. And that is a good thing, so people do not talk about you much, so catastrophe class adventurers find you quickly. Ka's level then is 110 after killing the goblins on their way while coming. Ka remembers on their way that Ein was very kind to animals, and he always warned him about the matter of attracting attention in catastrophe class adventurers. Ka says to himself Ein is an adventurer worthy of respect. Because usually adventurers are obsessed with money and fame like Balder. So I hope to be like Ein because level is not everything. And I must have the will to control my power. Then they enter the Central Administration Center. The receptionist welcomes them, asking them what mission did you come to report. Ein replies I already reported with the communication crystal about the Infernal Destroyer mission from Reiko village. Everyone standing is shocked and the receptionist tells him I will bring you the reward immediately. She brings 4 bags full of gold telling him the reward is supposed to be divided among all the party members. But since you are the only one alive it will be yours alone. Ka understands why he was very upset like that. Because he is afraid to carry the burden of taking his dead friend's money and surely that tortures him. They leave the guild again. Ein asks Ka if your family or friends joined a team and they all died except their leader who took a financial reward. How would you think about that leader? Ka is shocked and as soon as they leave the guild door he understands because all the people gathered around Ein starting to blame him for what happened, accusing him of betrayal and abandoning them. Ein tells Ka these are the families and friends of the people who died, and I must of course face their anger, because I am the one who led the team and caused their deaths. But truly I regret and grieve for them. Amid the people's talk, accusations, and crying, Ein replies to them saying I will take full responsibility. I could not save even one person, and they all died before my eyes. A person screams in his face I do not care how sad you are, crying saying that team was one of the best teams, then screams again in his face asking how did they all die from just a dragon level 150. Ka is shocked that they do not know the dragon was level 300. He tries to tell them but Ein interrupts him, telling him thank you for defending me. But it is true, really I left them all to die. If we had retreated then and walked away with the villagers the result would have been different. Ka becomes angry from the words he hears from him. Suddenly from among the people a man wearing armor and his body huge named Beal appears, telling Ein angrily you left them all to die to take the financial reward all for yourself, right? Ka is shocked standing before Ein screaming in his face who could do something like that. Beal replies shut up. I do not care to hear the words of a stranger. Ka replies I am not a stranger. I am an adventurer. And I fought the infernal dragon level 300 with Ein. All the people are surprised when they know the true level of the dragon, saying if this is true then they're coming out alive from there is a miracle. Beal replies to Ka even you are saying nonsense. You're level 110 same as mine. So what miracle got you alive from a fight against a monster level 300? Ka replies telling him many things. Beal laughs loudly with mockery, then his expressions change in a second to anger, telling him get out of my way. Ka replies try to do it. He becomes very angry and Ka looks at him with anger and in a moment they both draw their swords entering a clash with each other. Ein tries to stop Ka telling him all that happened is my fault. I am the one who failed to protect my friends and was a failed leader. The clash continues between Ka and Beal. Ka replies telling him no, you were not a failure. True, all died, but it was an incident no one expected. And you were beside them until the end. And even in facing an enemy of catastrophe level you did not ignore their deaths and run away. Beale's sword flies from his hand. Ein cries, so Ka tells him, and also how can someone crying bitterly over the death of his friends be useless, then tells him if you decide to take full responsibility for your friend's death I have no problem. But blaming yourself without clarifying to them this misunderstanding is wrong. I want everyone to know you were a leader who feared nothing and did not run away even after things became much worse. Ka extends his hand to him telling him you are an adventurer I respect very much. Beale becomes very angry running at Ka with a dagger, but a person intervenes stopping him, telling Ein you came finally. Ka is surprised by the strong presence of that man. Ein introduces Ka to him telling him this is the guild leader known as the Sword of Salvation. His name is Geely and level 200. Geely speaks to Ka with a sharp tone asking him are you the person who protected Ein from the Emperor of Dragons? People are surprised by what they hear, finally understanding that Ein and his team faced something other than the ordinary fire dragon. Geely continues telling Ka and not only that you also dealt with the criminal Balder. Ka is surprised asking him you knew? Ein replies I needed to be very precise in the report I submitted, so I told the Central Administration Council and Geely about Balder. And that he is the one who made the infernal destroyer on the verge of death. But in the end, because you are the one who destroyed the core and killed Balder, we received the financial reward. Geely tells Ka in the past days I was outside the city fighting a monster in a far place. I got a report from Ein with a magic message. But when I came back I found some fools blaming the person who barely survived. He looks at Beale continuing without even bothering to know the details of what happened. He looks at the rest saying to Ein I will not tell you to carry all that pain, but being an adventurer means protecting peace even with your life. And they died because they did that. He looks at the people angrily saying but that you put all the blame on another person, that is an insult to all the men and women who sacrificed their lives for us. They all feel guilty for what they said to Ein. Ka is surprised by his words asking Ein is he really on our side? Ein replies yes, but he is not that lenient. Suddenly Geely looks at Ein telling him you are expelled according to the guild laws. I clarified the misunderstanding, but that is no excuse for your incompetence. The leader whose team dies cannot remain in the guild ever. And this is not any guild. This is the strongest guild in the whole city. Ein is shocked by the decision and Ka is surprised Ein's guild is that strong. Geely asks him you will not object to your expulsion, right? Ein replies yes. But there is one thing I will ask you. He asks him can you accept Ka as a member in the guild? He is a very strong adventurer and with your support I am sure he will be a great adventurer. Ka is shocked and Geely thinks, but suddenly Ka tells him angrily I do not agree. A guild that expels its important members is not a guild I would be part of at all. Ein tries to calm him telling him your presence in a guild will provide you with very good support so you must join. Ka looks at him seriously telling him fine, then let us make a guild of our own. Ein agrees to the idea, taking him to an empty building to be their base. Thanking Ka for accepting him in the guild, Ka replies telling him I still have much to learn from you Ein. Please teach me so I can be a great adventurer. When they enter the place they find it needs much cleaning. Ein tells him we are still not an official guild and we have no money. Good that we borrowed some money from the reward after we distributed it to the families of the adventurers who died. Ka opens the cupboard in the place and suddenly dust falls on him. Ein laughs mockingly. They decide to start cleaning quickly. From the start Ka slips falling on the ground. They both laugh together enjoying themselves. Unexpectedly two figures enter who should not be there at all. Ka is shocked that Melee and Lily are standing before him telling him how could you leave us and go like that? We will not leave you. Suddenly an emergency occurs in the city. A huge monster like a spider appears at the western gate, eating the soldiers standing there. While Melee and Lily are scolding Ka for what he did, they hear a soldier scream saying urgent call. A giant monster appeared at the western gate. Ein tells Ka we must go. Ka tells Melee and Lily I will explain later. Wait for me here. He goes out with Ein. On the other side the monster called Cursed Proto level 210 is destroying the city. With him also an army of skeletons level 20 fighting Beale and the other adventurers. He asks is Geely coming or not? One of the adventurers replies they said he is on the way. Suddenly Cursed Proto appears behind Beale launching rings of energy binding them. Beale feels these rings will paralyze them for a time and kill them over time. One of the skeletons is about to kill him but Ka intervenes quickly saving him. Then Ka tells Ein he is raising his level. Ein tells him continue. There is no room for retreat. Ka rushes destroying the skeletons reaching level 250. Ein tells him leave them to me I will handle. Kill Cursed Proto. Ka jumps over Proto. On the other side Geely is entering from the eastern gate, saying to himself monsters appeared at the western gate and I was heading there. But I heard some noise from the eastern gate so I came to look and in the end I find this number of monsters. Before him also another copy of Cursed Proto with an army of skeletons. Cursed Proto screams in his face. Geely tells him in surprise, you do that even if before you is only one soldier. He activates a skill called Descent of Demons and a huge energy emerges from him. At the same time Ka descends on one of Cursed Proto's legs with the sword cutting it, then moves to the other leg cutting it too. Some skeletons jump at him from his back. He turns quickly smashing them. A skeleton descends on him with a sword. Ka catches it with his hand breaking it. Ka's level reaches 290. Cursed Proto tries to stomp on him but Ka dodges with high skill. Proto launches his rings to paralyze him. From Ka emerges a great amount of energy destroying the rings. Beale is watching Ka shocked by his power. In a moment Ka rushes at Cursed Proto cutting his side. Before he cuts his head completely he finds many of his rings in the sky, telling him no matter how you try you will not hit me with these rings. The monster laughs. Suddenly Ka finds the rings heading toward the city. He cuts his head quickly. The monster's level transfers to Ka making him level 500 but the rings hit the people. Ein tells him these rings are a demonic curse hard to break. If not treated the right way they will paralyze and kill them. Ka asks is there anyone in the city who can undo the curse. Ein replies it must be an adventurer of high level specialized in magic. But even inside Sword of Salvation Guild there are only 3 adventurers who can do that. Ka is shocked that the biggest guild in the city has only 3. At the same time the 3 adventurers led by Mina are already trying to break the curses but the number is too great for them and the curse extremely strong. Mina, the strongest sorceress in the city, tries first, finding it difficult and needing a long time. Mina feels heavy pressure because she wants to break the curse on adventurers who have been bound long like Beale. And at the same time she wants to save the weak townspeople struck by the curse. Suddenly Ka uses his skill on Beale breaking the curse. He says good that I succeeded but if I draw more attention those annoying catastrophe adventurers will find me. But I do not want to be the type of adventurer who can help and refuses. Ka spent 150 level on the golden curse breaking skill to save the people. He asks Ein did I make the right decision. Ein replies with a smile I am sure of that. Ka starts releasing the skill on the other adventurers. Mina watching him in astonishment not believing. She asks him who are you? He replies we will talk later. Just come with me first. He heads toward the city to save the people. On the other side Geely defeated the cursed Proto before him, finding the whole city under the effect of the curse. At the same time Ka is running to the people breaking the curses trying to save them before they die. But the problem is if he does not remove the curse from the whole city quickly there will be victims. Ka notices the matter as he runs asking the Abyss armor is there no way to finish this at once. The armor replies telling him weapon transformation skill. It is a skill derived from level transformation, giving you a weapon with which you use a certain skill so it amplifies its effect. Its cost is 250 level. Ka pronounces the activation words a great sword glowing blue appears for him. Ka uses the golden curse breaking skill with the great sword. Golden energy comes out from him spreading over the whole city at the same time equally. The whole city shines with golden color. Mina sees in his hand the great sword shocked that he has the great sword. She asks him what exactly are you? Adventurer or of the great ones? He replies telling her I am an ordinary adventurer using all his strength to save people. Then he looks at Ein telling him in fear did I exaggerate? Everyone will notice me and know me right. What do I do? Ein points to Mina telling him we will ask her help. They make Mina report to the Central Administration Center that she is the one who broke all the demonic curses covering the city. Ka thanks her and she replies you saved the whole city so I must return this favor. And I will do what I can to help you. Ein smiles slyly telling her in that case since people heard you the golden great who saved the city and are coming to see you now. She interrupts him telling him please do not call me by that name. He replies of course I must call you by it. Since you are the best sorceress in the city it will not be strange you are the one who saved the city from the curse. And because of that we must give them a strong impression they believe and it spreads in the whole city to divert attention from Ka. Then he suggests they perform a display with the golden light of the curse breaking skill before people so they believe it. He takes them to one of the city's passages, making Ka release the skill on Mina so the light effect remains on her for a while and she appears before people with it. Indeed they execute the plan exactly and it succeeds greatly with the people but Geely enters on Ka telling him I need to talk with you urgently. Ka asks him why. He replies telling him because I know the true person who saved the whole city is you. He tells him there is no need to pretend innocence. You are the real hero here. Ka asks him how did you know? He replies I will not deny your methods are convincing for the citizens of this city. But the trick will not deceive me. Ein tells him I did not expect you to come to us yourself. Geely tells him do not misunderstand I am not here to accuse you. Do you know what was happening at the Eastern Gate? They are surprised both of them and Geely continues before a big problem happened I sent a secret scouting team and we found that at the same time as the attack on the Western Gate there was also an army of the demon's curse at the Eastern Gate. Ka is surprised asking him what happened. Geely replies telling him calm down I defeated the whole army and there were no losses. But what I came to talk to you about is that the attack that happened at the same time I think someone is the one who planned it. Ain tells him maybe indeed because many things were not natural in this attack. Besides, the monster of that type never appeared before. And I was curious, so I asked some adventurers who were there. They said they never saw the like. Also strange that it appeared suddenly near the city. Geely says I think someone summoned it with an extraordinary skill or magic. Ka tells them that means someone is targeting this city. Geely tells them, and that is why I came to you asking you to establish your guild as soon as possible and cooperate with Sword of Salvation Guild in protecting the city. Ain replies, but there are still many procedures we must do to make the guild official and it will take time. Geely tells them do not worry, I arranged everything with the administration council and need only 2 things from you. First, Ka will fight me to prove to me he deserves to be a guild leader. And second, you must accomplish the difficult mission I prepared for you. He asks Ka, will you be able to do that? He replies with full confidence yes. He takes them going to the administration council on the 3rd floor because there is a battle hall above. Before they start, Geely tells Ka, usually we use training weapons in battles like this, but these will not let us measure your true strength, so we will fight with our weapons and with real killing intent. Ka agrees, and from both of them emerges huge terrifying energy. He gives Ain the signal to start, so Geely rushes quickly, passing by Ka, aiming the sword at him. Ka blocks the strike with difficulty because of the level difference between them, since after saving the city Ka's level became 100 and Geely's level 200. Ka says to himself, impossible to win this fight, and I am sure Geely knows. And that means the test is not about winning or losing. He surely wants to see if I can fight in this state or not. He rushes at him quickly and their swords clash strongly. Ka transforms his sword from normal mode to the great sword. Between them a very fast clash happens. On Geely's face appear expressions of amazement. Ka decides to trick him, pulling a dagger, throwing it at him. As soon as Geely blocks it, Ka disappears before him, appearing above him, quickly descending on him with all his strength. Ain is impressed by Ka's skills that improved greatly. But Geely comes out from the smoke bleeding, laughing a very evil laugh, telling Ka, if not for the level difference between us that strike would have been deadly. I acknowledge your strength. Then Geely charges his energy, telling him this is the final test. Try to survive this strike. Ka feels terrifying killing intent coming from him. Geely activates the demonic descent skill, telling him resist with all your strength because your life will end in 15 seconds. Ain warns Alka about that skill because it doubles Geely's power for 15 seconds, meaning his level will be 400 in the next strike. Geely feels his blood boiling and says to himself it's been a long time since he used that skill on a fellow adventurer. He tells Alka that under normal circumstances, he would have already passed the test because he exceeded his expectations by far, but for the next 15 seconds, he should try to endure his limitless power. Alka receives a direct and very strong hit that sends him flying into the wall, breaking it, and Mina, who is outside, sees the building's wall collapsing. 10 seconds remain, so Geely shouts loudly that the next one is the attack of the mighty hungry demon and tells him to show how he will handle it. He rushes toward Alka quickly in midair, and Alka sees Mealy, Lila, and Mina looking at him in fear, so he remembers that he is doing all this and giving all his effort to protect the people dear to him. As Geely gets close to him, Alka's sword slips from his hand, surprising Geely a lot, but he continues his attack. Alka thinks of avoiding the next attack instead to waste time since only 5 seconds remain. He blocks Geely's strike with his hands using a simple magic shield skill. Alka lands hard on the ground and tells his black armor to search for a skill that can return his sword that slipped from his hand and a skill that can fix the wings of the ruler. The armor replies that it doesn't recommend using level conversion in this state because the difference between his level and the enemies is too big. Alka answers that he knows but must fight and needs his sword. The armor finds the skills sword retrieval and quick repair, and their cost is 90 levels. Alka agrees and rises from his place to summon his sword. At that moment, Alka loses consciousness from the force of the strike he received. Geely approaches him and says to rest because the 15 seconds have already ended. After a while, Alka wakes up startled and finds himself in his room in the guild headquarters. He sees Lila and Mealy beside him, and Lila tells him they were so scared when they saw him falling from the sky. Mealy comes closer and says she's happy he's okay. Mina is also standing there and says she never expected the guild tower walls to explode and suddenly find him above them. Alka apologizes for worrying them and asks what happened with the test. Geely appears and replies that he passed, telling him not to worry. When he lost consciousness, the skill's effect had already ended. He adds that during those 15 seconds he puts all his power, and no adventurer has ever survived with only a slight wound like him. Alka gets very happy and excited. Ain calls Geely with a terrifying smile on his face and tells him he's sure there's still something he must say. Geely looks at the ground and tells Alka that after thinking about his actions and realizing he let his blood boil, acted recklessly, and turned into a demon, he is sorry. Ain presses him again with the same scary smile, saying he thought his goal was to protect the city with Alka, and if he had made any wrong move, Alka would be dead now. Gilly apologizes again. Then he tells Alka he has passed the first test and should rest a bit before continuing with the others. Alka asks if the next one is a hard subjugation mission, and Gilly answers yes. In the eastern wilderness, he will find underground ruins called the Old Witch's Hideout. Mina gets shocked because that place used to be inhabited by a very powerful witch but now became a den for monsters. Alka asks what kind of monsters are there. Gilly replies there is no specific type, and Mina continues saying that in recent years they found an unnatural magical force there, and because of that power the monsters went wild and attacked every merchant and traveler coming to Dramo. Gilly confirms her words and continues, saying that until now they don't know the source of the strange power that appeared suddenly, but clearly, it's not a natural phenomenon and surely a monster caused it. Alka gets shocked and Gilly tells him that based on the amount of power that appeared, the monster is level 300. Alka says that's higher than the cursed Brodo they faced at the gate. Gilly replies that those ruins are very dangerous, and no adventurer has ever gone there and reached their bottom, but he's confident that Alka can do it and even come back with great results. He tells him to investigate the hideout and defeat all the monsters inside. That's his mission for him. Can he do it? The next day, in the middle of the desert with the weather extremely hot, Alka, Ayan, Mina, and Mealy are at the entrance of the Old Witch's hideout. As soon as they enter, Alka looks worried and asks Mealy if she's sure of her decision. She tells him yes, she went and got a permit to become an adventurer so she could come with him and help him. She says he's a kind person and that she knows he left the village so no one would get hurt because of him, and that's why she wants to become stronger and stay by his side. He gets moved by her words for a moment, then asks if she knows that the Old Witch's hideout is very dangerous and not suitable for a level 10 adventurer. She gets startled and asks him, terrified, but aren't you also level 10? He explains that he has something called depletion level. She replies that when the guild examined her, they found she had a very strong skill, so unlike him, she only needs a few experience points to level up. She says she must take risks to become stronger anyway. He tells her she's right and suddenly Mealy smiles and tells him that either way, if something happens, he will protect her. He says fine. Ayan interrupts them and asks Alka if he's ready. He replies yes, let's go. When they enter, they find the place very old and in poor condition, with torn books scattered on the ground and broken skeletons around. Mina senses a massive magical energy even though they are still on the first floor and tells them the place really isn't normal. Ayan tells Alka he must regain his strength before facing the one behind that immense magic power. Alka answers that indeed, at their current level, if any level 300 monster appears, it will kill them all. Ayan says honestly he was thinking they should raise their levels in the wilderness before coming, but apparently, due to the fierce battles that happened, all the monsters ran away. Suddenly, a huge level 50 robot appears in front of them. Ayan tells Alka to stay back while they weaken it and for him to focus only on absorbing levels. The robot jumps at them quickly, and they dodge its strike that shattered the ground. Alka gets very nervous and scared for them. Ayan tells him to calm down and not forget that they are also strong adventurers. In the blink of an eye, Ayan cuts off the robot's arm, and Mina, flying above it, fires a strong fire spell that cuts off its other arm. Alka seizes the chance and rushes toward it quickly, but suddenly the robot changes shape, shocking Alka and making him freeze in place. The robot's head turns into a large metallic square like a hammer, and Alka expects it will strike him with it. Mealy moves quickly to save him and uses her strong skill, the lightning step, striking the robot with her sword, but she can't harm it and gets pushed back. Alka catches her, thanks her for saving him, and then the robot jumps again to smash them with the hammer, so Alka moves fast and dodges it. He looks at the sword marks on the robot's body and says there's a huge difference in level between them, and his strikes only make a few scratches. He wonders how to defeat it and thinks that robots usually have a core inside the armor that must be destroyed to get rid of them. Ayan calls him and tells him to switch places and move back, then use absolute power to reach the core. Mina casts magic at the robot to distract it, and Ayan rushes toward it quickly, cutting its chest open, revealing its core. He calls Alka, who moves swiftly and pierces it with his sword. The abyss armor absorbs its level, raising Alka to level 60. Suddenly, a very large group of robots appears, but luckily now Alka can fight them since his level is higher. He charges forward enthusiastically and smashes them all, reaching level 110. He uses the wings of the ruler skill and continues fighting, increasing his level to 160 after defeating all the robots. He stands thinking carelessly, and suddenly some of the robots fire bullets at him. Mina quickly stands beside him and forms a magic barrier that blocks the bullets. Alka looks at the robots and notices they look different from the ones he defeated earlier but are at the same level, and they keep firing fireballs at them. Mina stands in front of all of them and creates a strong magic barrier to block the shots. She tells them that although they are only level 50, their large number is the problem. Ayan points toward a door and tells them to run quickly. They all start running, but Mealy gets tired and stops in place. Alka stands to protect her and tells her to escape first. He uses the weapon conversion skill and skillfully blocks the robot's bullets. Suddenly, one of the robots opens its chest and reveals a huge cannon firing at him. Although Alka didn't expect that, he manages to dodge the shot and notices that the impact is very strong because it broke the wall. He runs quickly until he finds Ayan and the others standing near a door, not moving. He asks them in confusion why they stopped, saying the robots are coming and they must move. Ayan replies, "Look, it's a dead wall." The robots arrive and surround them. Mina forms a strong barrier around them, but under the pressure of the robots' bullets and cannons, she gets pushed back and can't hold it any longer. Alka tells them he'll cut through them and open a way, but Ayan replies, "No, don't do that. Even at your current level, you can't defeat them all." Suddenly, many magic circles appear above them. Mina tells them it's a magic trap. The ground breaks under them, and they fall underground. Even though they fall, the robots don't stop chasing and jump after them. Alka tries to block them with his sword, pushing one into the wall, and it explodes. Because of the distance between them, Alka says they won't be able to escape this way. Ayan calls him and tells him to free his right hand. Alka is surprised but obeys. Then Ayan calls Mina and tells her to cast wind on him. She's surprised too but does it, giving him a strong push. He reaches Alka, grabs his hand, and throws him toward the robots. Alka cuts the first robot, causing it to explode, and the other two explode as well. His level rises to 360, making him ready to face the level 300 monster Gilly told him about. They're about to crash into the ground, but Mina uses wind magic to make them land safely. Alka lands easily alone thanks to his high level. They all notice that after his level increased so much at once, a very powerful and uncontrolled energy bursts out of him. Then Mealy says it's very dark, and when they look around carefully, they find themselves in a library full of books. In front of them stands a robot shaped like the witch whose hideout this was, shouting angrily, "Intruders! I must kill them." The robot transforms, and 4 arms come out of it. Ayan warns them that it's not an ordinary robot, it's level 400. Suddenly, the robot releases a massive amount of energy, and they realize it was the source of the power that affected the monsters outside the hideout. 30 years earlier, an old woman sits by a riverbank with a crying baby and says sarcastically to herself, "An old witch like me was left here to care for a baby." She doubts that's even possible since she spent 80 years of her life searching for the truth of magic, yet knows nothing about the life of ordinary humans. She says that those who gain wisdom are just fools because they throw away everything else easily and without hesitation to reach the peak of a single path. She tells the baby that even her family abandoned her for some reason, and if she hadn't found her, she would have died in the wilderness. She feels sorry that such a baby will be raised by an old witch, saying that everyone will avoid her even if she wants to live. She introduces herself as Brigadia and promises to take care of her, naming her Maram. Back to the present, the robot attacks Alka, who jumps back before it reaches him. Suddenly, the robot screams, and energy comes out of both its hands, firing fire magic at Alka. Without waiting, it immediately fires water magic next. Alka dodges it skillfully, surprised at how a robot can do that. The robot gathers energy in its other 2 hands, jumps, and fires the magic, but Mina creates a barrier around all of them, blocking the spell. Suddenly, a worm-like monster bursts from the robot's body and attacks them, breaking the barrier. The robot continues its series of surprises, grabbing a very strong sword and striking at them. Alka tells Ayan to block it with him, and they both resist with difficulty. Strangely, the robot screams in Alka's face and asks, "Kill. What does kill mean?" Alka is shocked and tells it not to ask him since it attacked them first. Ayan tells Alka he has one theory, that the witch who lived here somehow transferred her soul into this robot, and that's why it uses all kinds of magic she used to. Alka asks if she was that aggressive and violent, and Ayan replies, "Not at all." From what he heard, everyone feared her, but there were no records of her ever hurting anyone. When they block the robot's strike, it steps back and screams strangely. Ayan says he thinks its body is breaking apart. We go back in time 18 years, specifically in the old witch's workshop, and Maram is standing in front of her making a robot. So the witch tells her among all the things in the world you're interested in something strange, so she replies the usual magic skills won't make me able to defeat you anyway. So the witch tells her you're right indeed, but if you acquire the necessary knowledge one day you'll be like me and in my strength. So Maram says following the teacher is really boring. I decided to specialize in machines, and actually I'm not that interested in them. After 8 years, the witch is on her deathbed, and Maram is very upset and tells her, "Wait, I almost found a way to transfer your soul into the robot. Just one step left," and she cries bitterly over her. So the witch tells her it's okay, you're not forced to continue your research on robots. I wish you a much better future. We go back to the present and the robot screams louder and strikes the ground, and suddenly it attacks Mealy and looks at her face because she looks so much like Maram and raises its hand to hit her, so Ka reaches her quickly and covers her with his body, taking the hit instead and flies away with her. So Yen warns Mina not to approach him while he's angry like that. But he doesn't manage to finish the sentence and the robot delivers a strong punch to her stomach. So Yen looks at her and in a blink the robot is beside him and drops its magic-charged fist on him. So Yen dodges skillfully and moves away. Yen says to himself, this robot has become very violent. But as long as it only attacks with its hands I'll be able to avoid it. And at that moment the robot jumps and kicks him hard in the face. So Ka says at this rate we'll die very soon, and he charges his body with energy and rushes toward the robot. And the robot does the same, but before they meet the robot stops and raises its hand to make a huge fireball, and Ka gets shocked when he sees it coming down on the ground and burning itself. Ka stands watching it from afar while its body melts, and says to himself, surface attacks won't work on it. I need to pierce it with one strong strike to destroy its core. And suddenly the monster rushes at him with punches and its body burning, and Ka dodges them thinking it's impossible to get close to it while it's moving like that. Unexpectedly more robots appear from level 50, so Ka gets happy because this will raise his level more and let him handle the big robot. So he rushes at them and in a blink blows them up, so his level increases to 560. So Ka asks the shield to search for a skill that paralyzes the robot. So the shield replies, I found a skill called crown binding and its cost is 150 levels. So Ka finds that even if he buys it he'll still be level 410 and that's still higher than the robot. So he speaks the purchase words and quickly uses the skill and black spears rise from the ground surrounding the robot and piercing its body, fixing it in place. We go back in time 10 years and Maram is standing in the library holding the robot, and she says to herself excitedly, finally I finished the project, only left to transfer the teacher's soul into the robot. I couldn't at first find a way to do it, but now I can use the forbidden technique that strange man taught me even if it's in a mechanical body. As long as the teacher will live that's enough for me, and she performs the technique and finishes it, and by that the moment the witch dies her soul will automatically transfer to the robot. We return to the present and the robot gets very angry so it breaks itself free from the spears by breaking its body parts. Ka gets surprised and uses the technique on it again, so more spears come out this time and fix its body. So Ka hears it saying angrily, I must kill the intruders. So he asks it, why are you insisting on killing us? So the robot says, killing was my goal, killing, and it tries to free itself again and its body parts break more, and it approaches quickly from Ka, so he uses the same technique on it again. So the robot says to itself, no, my goal wasn't killing. I just wanted to protect the place where Maram will live. And Ka ends the matter with the last strike and breaks its core. The witch's soul comes out of the robot and passes through the door. So Ka says to himself, I'll see later what's behind the door, and finds the shield absorbing the level, and it increases until it reaches 810. So Ka's body shakes strongly and a huge black energy comes out of him and he falls to the ground and he feels very severe pain because of the rampage of energy happening inside him. So the shield tells him, warning, absorbing a large amount of levels at once will cause damage to the body and mind of the owner, and then tells him a new feature called storage will be activated. Waiting for owner's confirmation, and it tries to urge Ka to give confirmation but he's in severe pain and can't speak. So the shield makes an exception this time and decides itself to activate the feature as an emergency. The shield takes 400 levels and puts them in storage, so the energy that Ka absorbed all comes out of him and gets placed in another part of his body which will be the level storage from now on. And when Ka regains consciousness he asks the shield, you saved me? So the shield replies, yes, the storage feature was activated. So Ka gets surprised because he doesn't remember anything that happened and was almost unconscious, and asks the shield, what's this storage then? So it tells him it's a feature that allows you to deposit or withdraw levels whenever you want so you don't lose control. So the first thing that comes to Ka's mind is that if he uses it well he'll be able to walk in the city normally without drawing attention. The shield tells him, if you want to increase your level don't raise it suddenly, you must do it gradually. So Ka tells him, I must get used to high levels, and Yen and the others enter interrupting him, and they check on him because they heard a very loud scream. So he tells them, don't worry, I handled the matter, and smiles saying, I'm glad you're all fine. Then he tells Yen that after he defeated the robot he found a blue light coming out of it similar to a human soul. So Yen thinks for a bit and asks him, so where did it go? So he points to the door and tells them it went inside. So Millie gets scared and asks them, should we open the door and see what's behind it? So Mina replies, yes. If that light was really the old witch's soul then the danger isn't over yet. They approach the door cautiously and Ka opens it and they find a very beautiful scene, a garden full of flowers of different colors and a wonderful house. So Ka asks them in surprise, is this supposed to be underground? So Yen replies, surely this is a different dimension created by the witch with her magic. So Mina gets amazed and tells them I've never seen magic like this before, and Mealy wonders where the soul went in this place. And suddenly the roof of the house in front of them breaks. And another robot comes out. He asks them seriously, are you new here? And asks them to leave their weapons, and tells them I don't like unnecessary fights. So Ka replies, if so then you leave your weapon too. So the robot tells him, this sword is my arm itself, surely I can't remove it. And then he tells them kindly, honestly I shouldn't be ruder with people who did me a favor. So Ka gets surprised and asks him, favor what? So the robot replies, I'm the old witch rejected by the world and my name is Brigadia, and you're the ones who freed my soul. Alka is surprised, and Brigadia continues, I'm sorry for the problems I left you with. The previous body had issues and that's why I lost control of it. Fayan asks her what happened to reach this point. She tells him it was a prototype and still experimental, but thanks to you I freed myself from it and regained control. And in the end I found another annoying forbidden spell that moved me into another robot. Mina is surprised when she hears the word forbidden. So Alka asks them what does that mean. Brigadia tells him it's a term used for the 100 dangerous spells that wisdom rejected. Alka is surprised and asks them, can something like that activate normally? She replies yes. And the spell that was cast on me is called Peace for the Soul Without a Body. And that makes every time I die my soul search for any other body suitable for me. Mina tells her, you don't look like you want to stay in that state with forbidden magic. Why don't you just cancel it then? She replies, it can't be cancelled except by the one who made it. And I would never use forbidden magic just to stay alive. I'm merely a third party. Mina is shocked and asks her who bothered to make forbidden magic for you. She answers embarrassed. My foolish pupil Merim. She couldn't accept my death, and as long as I'm conscious now and in control of myself I'll scold her. She continues, but there's a problem. Merim actually didn't know any forbidden magic. So I think she met someone who manipulated her mind and taught her so he could exploit her and make her build a killer robot. That person's name is Valma, and suddenly the person whose name she mentioned appears before them all. He says those who use forbidden magic are hated by everyone because they have the ability to break the world's rules and do destructive things, and the mages see that those who resort to that magic ruin everything without mercy. Yet those people are happy and delighted as they break laws and consider themselves above any system, especially when they have tried many forbidden incantations. Brigadia gets very angry and asks him, how dare you enter this workshop? And she tells him, I'll make you regret taking Merim away from me. And she summons all the robots in the place. Valma laughs mockingly, and with his very strong magic he melts all the robots without even moving from his place, and he tells her, let's get straight to the point. And he smiles a terrifying smile and continues, please let me kill you. Anyway, I'm the one who taught Merim the magic that got you into this state. So I tell him, so you are the only one who can kill me now. She asks him, and why did you come now wanting to do this? He tells her, when I cast that spell I had no intention of killing you, but now 10 years have passed and circumstances have changed and I'm working on a much more enjoyable plan. Very soon you'll see blood flowing throughout the city. He continues and tells her, I don't want anyone standing in my way, especially if it's an old witch people already forgot and who comes to show us justice. Alka asks him, so you now consider anyone who stands in your way an enemy, right? He replies, of course. So Alka grabs his sword and charges at him. Valma blocks him with his staff. Alka tells him, whatever your plan is I don't care. But if you intend to hurt anyone I won't allow you. Valma smiles confidently because the level difference between them is 90. Alka attacks him again without a trace of fear, but Valma answers the attack with a powerful strike to his stomach. Alka flies a long distance and the blow hurts him. Valma tells him, I don't even need to use forbidden magic. It's easy for me to kill you with my normal strength. The others surround him, and Ain tells him, you forgot us. Valma gets annoyed and says, although you're a bunch of kids your number will be annoying, and he opens a portal to leave. Brigadia tells him, you will run away. He replies mockingly, no, I'm late for the blood party. If you want to save Dramo City you must return quickly. On the other side in Dramo City the atmosphere is very calm and people are living their day normally. Valma appears and sits on one of the rooftops to watch what will happen, and suddenly his followers transform and a tremendous energy bursts out of them. At the same time Brigadia senses the spell on her has been removed and the core is breaking. Alka and the others fear for her and she tries to reassure them that this is natural and what should have happened from the start, and she tells them the curse's effect was limited to the old witch's workshop and I couldn't leave it. But this body is free and I can leave normally. But the most important thing now is that we think about Valma's matter. Fayan tells them we must go back to Dramo very quickly before Valma's followers kill anyone. Mina tells him, but Dramo is very far from here and it's impossible to get there in time. Brigadia interrupts them and asks, haven't you forgotten I'm the greatest witch here? And she uses her magic to open a portal exactly like the one Valma opened. On the other side in Dramo the citizens beg Valma's followers not to kill them. Layla goes out of the house at night and finds the sky very strangely colored, and suddenly one of Valma's followers appears and charges his magic in his hand to kill her, and he tells her, I'll make your screams heard until you die. But Alka appears at the right moment and saves her from his powerful magic shot, sending him flying until he crashes into a building, and at that moment another one appears and fires magic at Layla too. Mina appears and places a magical barrier around her, and tells Alka if what they are using is forbidden magic then the user is very weak and it won't be a problem for us. Brigadia tells them Valma's fears were real. If I hadn't been here you wouldn't have arrived in time to intercept him. Alka thanks her and she bids them farewell and returns to her home again. At the same time we find Gilly killing Valma's followers because they are killing innocent citizens, and he asks one of the townspeople to go to the guild and inform the adventurers there is a mission, and he also tells him to make the rest of the citizens stay inside the guild because the enemies can never enter it. He stops and thinks to himself about the people those followers killed at levels 90 to 100. And those people could never cause all these changes in the city. Valma enters on him and tells him that's what I expected from the leader of the Blade of Salvation Guild. Gilly angrily asks him, are you the bastard responsible for what's happening? Valma laughs mockingly and tells him, yes, I am the leader of the Blood Party, and my mission is to inflict as much pain on humans as possible, and kill them, to see their tears and curse them. And in the end, after I collect the required amount of blood, I will perform the greatest forbidden magic in the world, summoning the legendary beast. Gilly connects the events together and asks him, did you summon the monsters at the gates a few days ago? Valma answers, yes, that was just a light side summon to test your strength, but I must thank you because now I know there is no one in Dramo stronger than me, and this is the most suitable place to hold the blood party I need for the great summoning. Gilly replies confidently and says, well, I have to tell you your decision is completely wrong, and he activates his epic skill called Descent of the Evil Spirit. Valma tells him with full confidence, you must know that even after you use that skill your level is still 400, and you can't reach me. Gilly tells him 50 seconds exactly and help will arrive, and indeed Alka arrives and opens the storehouse and transfers to himself 190 levels reaching 600, and he and Gilly attack Valma at the same time. On the other side Ain is fighting to protect the citizens, saying I'm very angry because I don't have enough power to end what's happening and stop anyone from dying. Then Phil appears and tells him then you must fight and not just stand there complaining. Fight until you become much stronger than you are now. Ain gets very motivated and listens to him. Then Phil asks him about Alka. He replies telling him he's probably fighting somewhere else far away right now. At the same time Valma blocks Alka's strike and this time he resists it with difficulty, and Gilly comes from behind him immediately and is about to deliver a powerful hit, but suddenly Valma uses a summoning technique that brings his followers around him to block the attack. Alka gets very angry because he doesn't even care about his followers' lives and sacrifices them selfishly for himself like that. Valma looks at him and tells him your level increased unnaturally in a short time. I can't leave you because you'll be a big problem for me. Then Gilly attacks him from behind while he's talking. Valma dodges one strike and blocks the other, but his staff flies out of his hand. Gilly tells him indeed these forbidden techniques are strong and cause a lot of problems, but I notice you can't use them continuously. Alka attacks him saying then I'll finish you before you manage to use them again. Valma jumps from his place quickly before Alka reaches him. Alka asks Gilly to take advantage of the remaining time before Valma can use the forbidden techniques again, so they both attack him at the same time. Valma creates a shield around himself to block their attacks together, but naturally the shield breaks because the two of them together have a higher level than him. Valma gets injured and bleeds heavily and flies far away. He looks at his blood and tells them how beautiful blood is. They reply, all your plans will end right now as long as the two of us are here. Valma laughs mockingly and tells them I prepared very well for this plan, but I didn't expect two fools like you to stop me. I underestimated you. And the blood we gathered so far isn't enough, so I must make it up from another source. Suddenly he uses another forbidden technique that pierces knives into the hearts of all his followers. They all die and blood splashes everywhere forming a lake of blood under him. He says I know this still isn't enough, but I won't be greedy. Alka rushes at him quickly saying I won't let you do what you want any longer. Valma replies you should have killed me a bit earlier. The time has come. Suddenly all the blood from the city gathers into his staff, and from the staff a crystal of blood emerges. He tells them as long as this is in my hand I no longer need anything from this city. I'll return to the altar and summon the legendary beast. Alka rushes at him and Valma stops him. Alka asks him what do you intend to do by summoning that legendary beast? He replies once I summon it will be under my command, meaning all that great power will be mine, and he uses his magic and disappears before them. Gilly follows Valma's energy beam with his eyes, then tells Alka I know where he's heading. He'll go to perform it in the western wilderness, and tells him we can't defeat a forbidden techniques user alone. I want to form a pursuit squad, but it will be very hard for the adventurers of the Blade of Salvation Guild because the enemy's level is 500, so we'll have to handle this matter just the two of us. And he asks him, did you complete the mission I asked you to do? Alka replies, yes, it's done. He tells him, then I agree to establish your guild. From now on you'll receive support from the Central Management Council, and I promise you that the Blade of Salvation Guild will be your ally and will fight by your side with all its power forever. Then Gilly asks him, have you thought about what to name your guild? Alka is surprised because it never crossed his mind to think about it, and he feels he has no name in mind now. Gilly tells him, I'll make the decision. Name it the Black Star of Hope, because Alka's shield is black and since he and his friends came to the city they increased its hope. At the same time Merem is sitting talking to her giant mechanical wolf, telling him the adventurers have arrived, let's get ready. I'm not in the mood for all of this, but we have to eliminate them all here now. Then Valma arrives and tells her everything is ready, but the problem now is that the summoning will take a long time. She replies, we're ready to stop the adventurers. You just focus on the forbidden technique. Valma places the crystal he has into a large magic stone. On the other side Alka, Meli, Ain, Mina, and Brigadia are riding a carriage in a convoy borrowed from the Central Management Council to take them to Valma's place. Brigadia tells them if there wasn't a barrier made with forbidden techniques I would have opened a portal and we would have arrived faster. Suddenly Valma's followers appear in front of them and fire their forbidden magic at them and break the carriage. And they attack the rest of the carriages carrying the Blade of Salvation. Adventurers, Alka worries for them and tells his team we must save them. Ain stops him and tells him don't forget they are adventurers too. As soon as they reach the gate of Valma's base they find Gilly waiting for them there to enter together and finish him off. They walk inside the place that looks like a palace from within. Alka is very tense, so Gilly tells him calm down and stay cautious, we don't know from where the enemy might attack. Suddenly Valma's masked followers appear and attack them with knives. Alka moves quickly and blocks them and orders Gilly the 1st Battalion of the Blade of Salvation adventurers to engage them, and orders the 2nd Battalion to follow him. They all keep running and Ain tells Alka surely Valma's summoning technique is active now, so there's no time. And we must deal with every enemy that appears to us. If you have to leave us behind and continue your path because only you can handle Valma. Suddenly Valma's followers appear with magic surrounding them. Gilly calls Phil and tells him handle things here, and Alka jumps toward the ones blocking the way in front and eliminates them. They continue along their path until suddenly the wall breaks and smaller versions of the proto-monster that appeared to them at Dramo's gates come out. Gilly personally stands to fight them so Alka can gain time and reach the summoning spell before it's completed. They indeed reach the last door, which supposedly has Valma and the magic stone performing the summoning. But suddenly Merem's giant mechanical wolf lands in front of them, and Merem introduces herself and tells them I won't let you stand in our way. Alka is surprised by the name and looks at Brigadia to find her shocked, then he replies telling her it doesn't matter who you are. The important thing now is that we defeat Valma. Merem tells him I've heard about you and learned that your level is abnormal, so I prepared something that will take you down. She makes her wolf activate rays all over the place. The team is surprised because nothing happened or affected them, but Alka feels his body became a little heavier. Merem walks while telling him this mechanical wolf is my strongest and most advanced invention. The wolf attacks Alka quickly and he blocks it with both swords, then counters the attack and marks an X on its stomach, yet the wolf keeps fighting and uses the thrusters in its arms and legs so its speed increases many times. Alka tries to follow it with his eyes but can't. Suddenly the wolf appears beside him and fires a very dense beam at him. Alka is pushed strongly toward the wall. He assures them he's fine but thinks to himself in confusion how the direct hit that struck him didn't finish him. Also Alka's level is higher than this wolf's by 150 levels, so the fight should have ended quickly. Merem interrupts his thoughts while watching from a high place and tells him mockingly it's strange and confusing, right? How can you not defeat something lower in level than you? The secret lies in the energy field the wolf spread around the area, because it makes you drop to its level no matter how high yours is, and its body is made of a very solid metal impossible to cut, and if the fight continues at this pace you'll be the one who falls first. Alka gets very angry and grabs his swords again, running toward the wolf in despair, trying to think of any solution to the situation he's in to end it quickly and manage to stop the summoning before it's done. He attacks, and the wolf jumps standing on the wall, preparing a fire shot to launch from its mouth. Alka jumps and places his swords on its mouth to stop it. Suddenly Brigadia enters the fight with a very strong kick that sends the wolf flying away from Alka and tells him leave this to me. You have something more important to do now. Alka tries to object but Ain calls to him telling him we agreed. so he accepts and moves quickly toward the door. Merim gets very angry and orders her wolf to attack him. Yet Alka keeps running confidently that the others will protect him. Brigadia instantly appears, blocking the shots from hitting him. Ain jumps to attack Merim, but she dodges his strike. Alka opens the door and finally enters, meaning they've completed their mission. Merim gets very angry and makes the wolf attack Brigadia. Brigadia blocks the strike and pushes the wolf away. Merim says, "What's the story of that robot with you? I think it looks like one I made before." Brigadia replies, "No, it's not just similarity. It's the one you actually made." Merim gets angry and tells her, "Don't lie, the model I made was only a test. Its level didn't exceed 15 and it didn't have intelligence to talk to me like this." Brigadia replies, "You're right. But if the soul of the old witch was inside it, things would be different. And not only users of forbidden magic can do that. The idea is real mages don't use it, but for Brigadia, using it for level boosting is very easy." Merim is shocked that it's Brigadia and falls on her knees, asking her, "Why are you here?" Brigadia replies angrily, "To scold my foolish beloved student." Merim feels great despair and tells her in astonishment, "Scold me?" Tears fall from her eyes as she says, "The only way I could save you was this. I used forbidden techniques and transferred your soul into the robot and you became one of Valma's followers." Brigadia replies, "I know well what you did for me, but that's exactly why I must tell you you're wrong." Merim is shocked and Brigadia continues, "My time has already come and I must die. We can't defy fate with forbidden techniques. In the end you made me live and see my dear student as part of the followers of a very evil man to destroy the world, and as your teacher I can't see you like this standing still doing nothing." Brigadia quickly charges at the wolf, sending it flying away. The wolf returns angrily and attacks her but can't match her strength. Brigadia fires fire magic at it. The wolf tries to dodge but Brigadia quickly reaches it and pierces her sword into its cannon, then steps away quickly and Mina creates a barrier in front of them because it's about to explode. It explodes indeed, but the wolf is still intact because its body is very hard. But the rest of the team are amazed that Brigadia fights with such skill and power. She tells them that's because of a forbidden technique created by the first mage who used these techniques. Its effect is simple. It keeps increasing the level more and more until the body can't endure it. Indeed, the robot body that Brigadia is in burns and begins to erode. Brigadia asks Ain and Mina to take Merim away from the wolf while she fights it. They both rush toward Merim while she makes a barrier so they can't touch her, but they manage to push her away. Brigadia attacks the wolf, planning to strike its inner parts to finish it quickly. Melly also helps her with her lightning step skill, stabbing her sword into the wolf's body and electrocuting it. Merim calls Brigadia with fear and sadness for her. Brigadia tells her, "Stay where you are. I'll finish this wolf. And Alka will finish Valma. And then you'll be free and live a better life than this." Merim screams, telling her, "I didn't ask for this and I don't want you to die." Brigadia replies, "I'll do it even if you didn't ask. Because it's the right thing." Brigadia gathers all her magical energy in her fist and strikes the wolf with all her strength, exploding it, then looks at Merim and tells her, "I think I've reached my limit now." Before both of them, their memories together flash by. Merim cries and screams. On the other side, Alka feels his body light again because the wolf's energy field is no longer present. He enters to find Valma sitting on the magic stone, crossing one leg over the other, laughing mockingly and telling him everything is ready now and it's only a matter of time before the summoning is done. He stands up to perform forbidden incantation number 100 and accelerates the summoning, and indeed the legendary beast appears, looking like a demon with many arms. And none of Valma's energy affects it, and the beast grabs him strongly and presses on him to make him feel pain, then lets him go so he doesn't die and keeps feeling the pain. So Valma begs him to kill him, but the beast says, "Impossible, I don't kill anyone. I just distribute pain." And crystals grow inside Valma's body, making him suffer badly and scream. And Alka watches what's happening, saying to himself, "After using all these forbidden techniques I see what's happening to him as something very normal." But he decides to be merciful with him and kills him himself so he doesn't keep suffering from pain like that. Then he tells the Abyss Shield to absorb his level quickly to defeat the legendary beast. So the beast hears him and tells him, "Rebelling against a legendary beast like me while you are just a human is stupidity. You can't even touch me." And suddenly Alka hears the shield angrily saying, "What the hell? Don't you dare call yourself a legendary beast at all." So Alka gets surprised because it's the first time he sees the shield acting like that. Then the shield absorbs Valma's level and stores it, so the total levels with Alka become 1710, and it advises him to get new skills and weapons. And the shield suggests a skill called the Power of the Legendary Beast, and its cost is 0, and he buys the Legendary Beast Killer Sword for 400 levels and merges the skill with the sword. So Alka gets surprised that a skill costs 0 and asks the shield about it, so the shield tells him, "Understand later and act now." so Alka listens and summons the sword, and at the same moment the beast extends its hand toward Alka. So Alka tries the sword and cuts its hand easily, gaining huge confidence in himself and deciding to defeat that beast alone. The beast gets furious and says impossible, a human gains the power of the legendary beast and challenges a legendary beast. So Alka replies, face reality. Your hands are screaming from pain right now. The beast shoots energy spheres at him and Alka dodges them fast, saying to himself, I can cut his hands but the level difference between us is huge and if I take one hit from him I'll be done. And suddenly he hears from his shield a warning, telling him that the legendary beast's level is decreasing. So Alka gets shocked and asks how. The shield tells him that some of the hands he cut had fragments from the red crystal Volma made from blood, so when they fall or break the beast's level decreases. Alka understands the idea and gets his excitement back, jumping quickly with the sword and cutting the beast's hands and every part with a piece of the crystal that glows, and the shield confirms that the beast's level is dropping more and more. Then suddenly the beast lands with both hands in front of Alka, so he jumps back quickly. Then the beast says, I feel my power decreasing, but that's still not enough for you to defeat me. And it prepares a skill that looks very strong and Alka gets scared to take a hit that would finish him. Alka feels there's no escape with such a big level difference between them, and asks the shield to transfer levels from storage, so the shield executes and Alka's level reaches 910. Alka screams from the extreme pain because his body still can't handle that amount of levels, yet he rushes at the beast almost unconscious, cutting its limbs more and more to reduce its level, and in the end the legendary beast's level reaches 950 and Alka feels his consciousness fading bit by bit and his body screaming from the pressure it's enduring. And the shield warns him that he reached his limits and any extra effort will cause serious damage to his body. Then Alka's memory fades and he feels he doesn't remember what he's supposed to do, and suddenly he asks himself, who am I, and what am I doing here, and is this worth all the suffering? Then the rest of the guild members appear and encourage him and warn him of the power he gained, and Jilly shouts at him to wake up. So Alka regains his consciousness and remembers that his goal is to protect all these people. He grabs his sword again, and the shield tells him maybe one strike only and it won't cause problems, so Alka says, I plan to end it in the next strike anyway. Alka gathers his energy with exactly 1 minute left for full charge, and the legendary beast also gathers its energy in its hand and moves the rocks around it. So Alka jumps on the rocks it raised quickly, trying to dodge the beast as much as he can until the charge completes, blocking its attacks and avoiding its extending hands, then jumps on one of its hands and runs toward its head. And his energy finally completes so he can use his strongest skill called Absolute Explosion. The beast explodes and every crystal in its body shatters at once until its level becomes 0, but the shield tells Alka level absorption is impossible, and Alka loses consciousness and the whole team runs to him to check. But the shock is that Alka isn't breathing. So Ain carries him and says, don't worry, I'll use my special skill and won't let you die. Mina tells him, I'll help you. You already cast the weight reduction spell on him, but it will be hard for you alone, right? So he says, no. We're still in enemy territory. Stay focused and ready for any attack. And at that moment before he finishes the sentence, a proto-beast drops from the ceiling, and the surprise is that it's not coming alone. They find a whole swarm of proto-beasts descending on them. So Jilly says, I can't handle all these alone quickly, and asks Mina to help and not let any of them get close to Ain while he's healing Alka. She tells him impossible, there are too many and they will definitely break through. So Mealy stands beside them very angry because Alka protected them all from the danger of the legendary beast, which was impossible for her or anyone else to defeat, and now he stopped breathing. And she screams saying we must heal him no matter the cost, and releases a huge lightning energy from her body, directing it toward the beasts, destroying them all, and her level rises to 100. They all leave quickly from Volma's castle, and Ain uses the life power sharing skill on Alka, and asks all the adventurers from the Salvation Sword Guild who are there to give him their life energy to save Alka, and the surprise is that they all agree happily and without hesitation because they admire Alka and are very grateful to him for saving the world from that legendary beast. And basically this skill's function is to heal medium wounds or save someone on the edge of death but still breathing. But because Ain promised Alka that he'd help him with all he has, Ain pushes himself beyond his limits, and indeed Alka wakes up and Ain and all the other adventurers lose consciousness. Alka panics when he sees Ain unconscious, and Mealy tells him he wasn't breathing and Ain saved him, so he grabs Ain quickly and calls his name in fear, and suddenly finds a strange mark on his face he's never seen before, so he screams, does anyone know what's on his face? Does anyone know how to cure him? Everyone looks at him hopelessly and no one answers, so he calls Mina and she apologizes because she doesn't know what it is. Then Brigadia speaks and replies this is called the soul disease. Strange that none of the adventurers here know about it, and explains that when someone overuses the spirit clan's skills his body starts to erode, and tells him it's a very dangerous disease and could cost the person his life. Alka gets shocked that only Brigadia's robot head remains and it's talking. She yells at him angrily, postpone this talk for now. The important thing is that no one can cure this disease except the spirit clan. So Alka gets happy that the disease has a cure, but before his joy completes she tells him but the time factor is very important. If we delay his whole body will erode and he'll die. So he asks how long does he have? And she replies at most 1 week.